Woo, I'm hot, we're ready, and it's episode 25 of Heatland. We got a lot to get into. Our Golden Knights off to the best start in franchise history. UNLV Runnin Rebels have got the ball rolling. They're on a winning streak, but have taken a major hit in the process. Hey Reb, the mascot, sayonara. Asia Wilson has a statue of herself. That's pretty incredible. And we finally have some news from both our Las Vegas Aviators and our Las Vegas Lights. So without further ado, I'm not going to waste any more time. Go Knights go. First of all, so great to have hockey back. It's been over a week, and yeah, our Golden Knights off statistically to their best franchise start, 4-0-0. Now, the only other year they won at least their first 3 games was their inaugural season. They started off 3-0-0. Actually, through the first 9 games were 8-1. So we'll see how this team, measures up to that team. That team finished 51-24-7, and we all know what happened. Went all the way to the Stanley Cup Finals, lost in 5 games to the Washington Capitals. Kind of took the sports world by storm, and ever since, I feel like the Golden Knights have been built championship ready, and I think again this is just another year. But yeah, been looking good so far. So the 2 goalies, we kind of have the goalie war between Robin Lehner and Marc-Andre Fleury. Now again, it was said by Pete DeBoer that they're gonna split starts. They're gonna go back and forth each game with both of them until they can figure out which one is doing better, who they feel more comfortable with, and then they're gonna roll with that goalie for the rest of the season. Swapping them out occasionally, but so far through 4 games, obviously each goalie has played 2 of them and won both. The funny thing to think about is the games that Robin Lehner has played, which is the first and the 3rd game, they played in black jerseys, where Marc-Andre Fleury has played in the 2nd and 4th game, and they played in gold jerseys, and they've won them all. By the way, I love the gold jerseys. That's something new this year. We've had the black, we've had the white, we've had the gray, but gold was one of the newer ones. And I remember when they unveiled the design, a lot of people kind of had mixed feelings on it. I personally love them. Seeing them in action, it's vibrant. I think it represents, the city of Vegas. And obviously, if we're going to be called the Golden Knights, we have to have some golden jerseys, right? So again, Fleury is, he's playing in gold. Leonard playing in black. I mean, maybe those are just the 2 jerseys we should wear for the whole season. But again, so we'll see how both of them continue to do. Leonard has allowed 4 goals thus far through his 2 games, where Fleury has allowed only 3. So again, we'll see. I don't know all the kind of characteristics they're taking to determine who's gonna start and everything, but we'll have to see. Now, 2 of the Golden Knights wins have been rallied after they've trailed. It was their 2nd game against the Ducks. They were down 1-0. William Karlsson scored with 1:22 left in the game to tie the game, to win to overtime, and then it only took 7 seconds into overtime, where it was a pass from Mark Stone to Max Pacioretty, goal. It was off the initial puck drop, and game over. Came back and win. Now Pacioretty has actually scored in 3 of the 4 games this year. The only game he didn't score was last game against the Arizona Coyotes. But the first game against the Coyotes, they also trailed 2-0 and then scored 4 unanswered goals. So again, lot to you don't necessarily want to be trailing and come back, but I think it kind of shows the capability that the Golden Knights have, the resiliency. They stay poised. I think that's another big key that you got to remember. And the 3rd period, that has been huge for our Golden Knights. Actually have a +9 differential in that period, by far their best period. So I think that's something to keep in mind. Is really, they've kind of struggled in the 2nd period. Only have 2 goals thus far through 4 games. But like I said, that third period, the first and third period are definitely the stronger ones, with the third period just, but you want to finish strong. So I like that. Now, Alex Pietrangelo, he scored his first goal as a Golden Knight on Wednesday. Obviously, he previously played for the St. Louis Blues, who we actually play coming up this next week. I am actually going to get into the upcoming game. So they do have a game today and Sunday against the Coyotes. Once again, this time traveling to Arizona. Remember, the way this season is being played is they're playing teams in pairs, and they're only playing teams in this Western Division. So they will tackle the Coyotes two more times, getting very familiar with them, and then starting on Tuesday and Thursday, they will be back here at T-Mobile Arena, obviously with no fans, taking on Pietrangelo's former team, the St. Louis Blues. But again, a great start so far, and I'm loving kind of the camaraderie. Watching the Golden Knights, I just feel like they are destined. Again, they are built for this championship run. Alex Tuck has been a machine. Shea Theodore. I mean, there's Ryan Reeves. He doesn't necessarily score, but he does a lot of the, it was his birthday actually on Wednesday. So happy belated birthday to Ryan Reeves. He said, he likes to spend his days, go home, eat some spaghetti, take a nap, come bang some bodies, which he did, and end it with a beer. Ryan Reeves, what else do you want? So I'm impressed with what I'm seeing from the Golden Knights, but again, I feel like they are destined to make it far again, make it to the playoffs, and really go deep and try and get a Stanley Cup. I really hope so. I feel like we have the squad to do it, so we'll see. But Golden Knights, man, black and gold. You might just want to wear those jerseys the rest of the year. So maybe it's, the Golden Knights kind of inspiration lifting this whole city that UNLV all of a sudden has come out and won 4 consecutive games. They swept the series against New Mexico, and first game it was 77-54. We're getting a lot more contribution. Obviously, Bryce Hamilton, David Jenkins have been the huge assets so far, but Mbake has really come on these last couple games. Freshman Naquil Blake, and I just gotta say, what an incredible name that is. What up, Naquil? Like NyQuil, but no, Naquil, I like it. So, he had 18 points in the first game against New Mexico, and so he really has come on these last couple games. And that's really key, because again, a lot of it was just, it's Bryce Hamilton, it's David Jenkins, but no one else was really doing anything. And now this is going to be the key. If we can get some constant contribution, then we'll see what happens. Now, second game, much more defensive minded. It was 53-46, which I looked at and I was like, wow, that was the final score. And yes, it was. But again, it's a win. It's in the win column for UNLV. They're now 2-2 inside Mountain West. And then last night they played Benedict Mesa University and thumped them 99-45. Now, Benedict hasn't played a game yet, and again, they're one of the smaller schools, just like St. Catherine, that was added to UNLV's schedule, a non-conference game. And so, again, they were supposed to win. Now, they did not have Bryce Hamilton. He was out with a sprained ankle. He should be back, for next game, but we'll just have to wait and see. But someone that unfortunately won't be returning is junior point guard Marvin Coleman. He'll miss the remainder of the season with a stress fracture in his right leg. He already missed a couple games before because of he tested positive for COVID-19, and now this. I really just hate to see that. I hate to see when players kind of seasons come to an end because of a catastrophic injury. He was averaging close to 7 points per game, 4 assists, and 2.5 rebounds per game. He was a walk-on in 2018 and actually signed a scholarship following his freshman season. So, really tough. I love Marvin Coleman. I think he brings, a certain aspect to the team and leadership, and so he's certainly going to be missed. Fortunately, He is a junior, so obviously he'll be able to come back next year, hopefully stronger and better. So, but that's always devastating. That's always a blow. But again, hopefully UNLV can kind of use this as motivation to rally. And like I said, if we're getting constant and consistent numbers from, again, Nicole, Blake, Mbake, that's someone that we can really rely on, then UNLV is going to be in pretty great shape. Now, I do believe, don't know if I wrote down, I did not. So let me go ahead, and we're doing this on the fly. Let me see who UNLV is scheduled to play now. Okay, so Utah State, they got a game on Monday against Utah State, and then they will play again. So Monday, Wednesday, they are taking on Utah State, who is sitting at 12-4, close, to the top of the Mountain West. So those are gonna, that's gonna be a tough series. But again, I've been loving what UNLV has done recently, and again, if it can be more than just Jenkins and Hamilton, we're gonna be in pretty good shape. But kind of, nervous. But again, we gotta beat the good teams and able to move on. So Utah State next week, Monday and Wednesday, and we'll wait and see. Hopefully we can get Bryce Hamilton back. Hopefully it's nothing real severe. We'll just have to wait and see. So you've been seeing stuff like this a lot. This is something else pertaining to UNLV. Hey Reb, the mascot, is no more. The UNLV's president, Keith Winfield, announced on Tuesday that he has been retired with no immediate plans to bring him back or create a new mascot. I think this is something that is going to take a little bit of time and thought before we just jump into, hey, this is going to be our new mascot. I think you really want to take it in. I think, with everything going on, the Washington football team, ditching their name, the Cleveland Indians, thinking about removing their name. I think it makes sense. Now, UNLV didn't have a mascot through the mid-1970s, and I did not know this, but other notable schools without mascots are Illinois, Indiana, Michigan, and Central Michigan. Now, obviously, I know, for example, Michigan are the Wolverines, but I guess I didn't really think about they don't have a mascot. So that's, there are other schools that exist that don't have mascots. It's not like UNLV is the only one that doesn't. Now, there was also a Hey Reb statue on campus that was removed last July under President Marta Mina. So, again, you already kind of saw the ball rolling, and so I think this was just kind of, hey, we got to just ditch this altogether. Some people have questioned, though, because UNLV chose to keep the Rebel name, and Keith Winfield has spoke to this. I'm going to read an official statement he put out. He said, "Personally, I have always viewed the term Rebels as a strong, nationally recognized brand synonymous with UNLV. I believe the word Rebel represents an attitude or spirit. It captures the essence of an iconic city that is unconventional and celebrates its independence, tenacity, and resiliency. Rebels have a purpose or motivation for a greater cause and are not afraid to take risk to make incredible things happen." Yes, I think totally makes sense. Okay, obviously I agree, and I think getting rid of Hey Reb is a huge step, but I agree with President Whitfield when he does say, Rebels and UNLV, that's synonymous. I believe, I just think when you think UNLV, you think Rebels. Now, I went, where I got my bachelor's degree, undergrad, I went to Dixie State University, and while I was there, we were the Red Storm, and then my senior year, we transformed into the Dixie State Bison, which I was like, Trailblazers. Our mascot was a bison, but we were called the Trailblazers. But before we were the Red Storm, they were the Rebels. But again, that had to do more with, kind of Confederacy and everything. So they kind of removed that and haven't went back to that. I think you're seeing UNLV in a similar place where it's like, We're not ditching the name because it's, it goes hand in hand with UNLV, although our mascot, we get that can be controversial, so we're saying goodbye to that. I think it's a tough decision, but I think ultimately it is the right decision when you see kind of all, the social justice issues and everything going on, and other teams kind of, professionally making these moves. I think, for Keith Winfield, again, not an easy decision, but I do think a right one. So I got to give him a lot of props for that. So speaking of social injustice, our own A'ja Wilson of our Las Vegas Aces was commemorated with her own statue at the college she attended, South Carolina, where she won them the NCAA title right before, she entered the draft and was drafted to our Las Vegas Aces. Has been a key player, our main player, such a lovable player too. She's always laughing and smiling, and it's just incredible. If you haven't, you have to check out this statue. It's really great. And Wilson, on top of that, it's really emotional for her because she said her grandma, who attended South Carolina, wasn't able to even walk on the campus. And, the fact now that her granddaughter has a statue, that's a huge way. And A'ja said that is how you, quote unquote, plant seeds for change. So if we're talking about change, that's a huge step. And I think that's awesome, because I do think when you look at the WNBA, when you look at women's sports in general, it's always overshadowed by men, or just by men's athletics. And there's a lot of turmoil with women's athletics, and they're not as good as men because of X, Y, and Z. And I think for A'ja Wilson to get her own statue, be commemorated, that is such a huge deal. I think it just extends more. It speaks more, I feel, for women's athletics, and I think it is a step in the right direction. So I'm so happy for her. And A'ja, again, she went on more into detail, says change doesn't happen overnight, but little black girls can look at that statue and say, wow, I hope those young black girls see the role models that are in front of them, because I still look up to so many. Couldn't have said it any better. Couldn't have happened to a more deserving woman, person, human being. A'ja, I'm proud. She was last year's MVP, and like I said, when you see her on that court, she competes. She has that fire in her, but she's also lovable. She's laughing. She's smiling, and man, this is such a huge step. Last two, we're finishing it up with our Las Vegas Aviators and our Las Vegas Lights. They're going to have seasons this year, so our Aviators a little more discreet about this. They've been putting up pictures on, social media of the Las Vegas ballpark, and hey, kind of, we can't wait to be back out here. And this was a reply. Someone asked, hey, is there going to be a season this year? And the Aviators, from their own account, replied and confirmed that they are working with the MLB to create a schedule for this upcoming year. That's all we have right now. No more details other than that. They're pretty scarce. But again, as soon as I get more, I will share that with you. But just know there will be a season. They are currently working on it. Again, probably more in, I'd say April or something like that, May. That's probably when the season will start. But again, if I hear anything, I will be the first one to let you know. Now, our Las Vegas Lights, we have a little more of a, concrete details. We have an official statement from the United Soccer League. These are key points that I just pulled from this. Now, this year, the 2021 season will begin around May 1st. Now, the league's Board of Governors has approved for clubs to play anywhere starting between April 24th and May 15th. So again, that late April to mid-May, we will see our Lights back in actions. Teams will be split into 4 divisions, and there will be 32 games spanned across 27 weeks all the way until October, with playoffs in November. So our Lights are not only coming back, they're coming back strong. 32 games, that's, more than they usually have. So again, this is something just to look out for. Now, the United Soccer League has said there's lots more details and decisions to be made, but they have to continue monitoring obviously COVID-19 and seeing what's happening with that. But that is the plan right now. So again, late April to mid-May, we will have our Lights back in action. Again, once we get more concrete dates and stuff, I will share that with you. But that is what we have. Aviators Lights, they are confirmed to have seasons this year. Again, given, if we kind of stay on this level playing field, and hopefully 2021 we can start improving with this pandemic. But we'll see. It's exciting. I haven't talked about either of these clubs in a while. Actually, I haven't talked about the Aviators at all on the show because we just haven't had a season, and so I'm excited to get back into that. And again, as more details start to trickle out, you'll be the first to know. But man, that was a lot. That was good, and Vegas sports were. I gotta say, I'm so happy. I'm so happy about the Asia Wilson statue. I'm so happy for our Golden Knights that they're doing well. UNLV. Come on, it's a great time to be in Vegas. I mean, Viva Lights. You can't help but smile when you say Viva Lights and Aviators, Las Vegas ballpark. I gotta get down there and see what that is all about. I heard that's one of the prettiest ballparks. So, I hope you're as excited as I am. Hopefully, you have a fantastic weekend. We're coming up on the end of the first month of 2021. Yeah, yesterday, if you didn't know, was the 21st day of the 21st year of the 21st century. So that's pretty iconic in itself. Today is just the 22nd. But hey, it's Friday. Hopefully you got paid. If you didn't, hey, just keep looking up. I will talk to you again next week. Take care and much love.